Tata Martino's out at Inter Miami, folks. Am I surprised? No, I'm not. Not in the least bit. Not in the least bit surprised. I'm not. Because something was happening. Something was coming. A team that spent so much money, a team that spent historically the most in the history of MLS, and it spent the most ever in North American football. You just don't say, well, we failed. No. Someone in American society, there always has to be a scapegoat. Tata Martino in this one ends up being exactly that. So, he wasn't sacked, you would say, but a lot of things, a lot of conditions, the game was changed, for lack of a better term. The rules of the game were changed going into next year. And, you won't have this, you won't have that. You will have this, you won't have that. You will have to deal with so-and-so, you will have to do this. So when a lot of those things change and they're not to your benefit, then you start kind of analyzing things and saying, you know what, maybe it's time for me to leave. And indeed, it was time for Tata. He ends up leaving. He ends up saying goodbye, thank you very much. Now, is he speculated to go elsewhere? Yeah, he could go elsewhere. He could go to Newell's Old Boys. As the garbage truck passes by, he could go to Newell's Old Boys. Most likely, that will be one of the places that will woo him to return. He is one of the greatest idols in the history of that club, so why not look at him in that direction? Why not look in that direction? But he failed. There's no other way to put it. He missed out on having the cushiest job in MLS, or the least unpressure-filled job in MLS, also the cushiest and glamour job in MLS, and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't find a way to make this team play better because the same mistakes that were being made at the beginning of the season were being made at the end. The same mistakes we saw when he first arrived were the same mistakes that are being made to this day now. It'll be interesting to see because somehow Messi seems to be swirling in this. We'll see. Because it will be interesting, though, when the next coach comes in. Then that's when the answers are going to start to be a lot clearer. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you. And let's see how things end up playing out. Remember, this is Messi's last year. And he has an option year after that. If things don't go well this year, you're going to see a lot of these guys, not his friends. His friends will always be there. His friends will always be his friends. His friends will always stay. Everybody else, let's see how they end up staying, or if they end up remaining, or they end up cleaning house and bringing in new people all over again. We'll see. They'll find a way because MLS will find a way to make an exception for Inter Miami. They always have. They always will. So we shall see. Because keep in mind, look, as much as people want to talk about how great Inter Miami have been for the league, they've also been a bit of a thorn in their side. They've also been a bit of a problem for them. The whole MLS experiment now with their television, it hasn't worked out the way they anticipated. Because, yeah, people watch Messi play. The only thing is that they only watch Messi play. All the other teams are not even being watched. I'll let you know that. Okay? Folks, it's going to be an interesting year for Inter Miami. Not that I'll be following. I really don't care. It's not my team, or it's not a team that I particularly follow all the time. I have followed them because of work. But it's not a team I follow. Now, what comes up next year, you'll start seeing a lot of things. That'll be very interesting.